Hello, welcome to When the Smoke Clears. I am the Recovery Plug. What's happening, man? Hope you guys are doing well. My day's going pretty good. Well, check this out. Before we get this video started, if you would please join me in a moment of silence, followed by the serenity prayer for that who still suffers, and for those of us who are still bound down to some sort of struggle that keeps us from moving forward in this toxic life that we live in, man. So yeah, if you would, please join me in a moment of silence. God, grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, wisdom to know the difference. All right, well, let's get started, man. Whoa, little mess up there. Okay, so how's it going, man? I hope you guys are doing good, man. Well, check this out. What I wanted to bring to you guys today is just a little message, and it is about, it's titled, Depending on Our Higher Power. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a little bit of this, and then we'll go on into this discussion about it and see, give you my opinion and how it has influenced my recovery and how it influences my day and in my life in the here and now. So, it goes on to say, as recovering addicts, we find that we are still dependent, but our dependence has shifted from the things around us to a loving God and the inner strength we get in our relationship with Him. Goes on to say, this is coming out of the basic text of page 71 in the Narcotics Anonymous book. It says, for many addicts, rebellious is second nature. We didn't want to depend on anyone or anything, and especially not on God. The beauty of using, we thought, was that it gave us the power to be and feel anything we wanted all by ourselves. But the price we paid for the illusory freedom was a dependence beyond our worst nightmares. Rather than freeing us, using enslaved us. And it goes on to say, we came to Narcotics Anonymous. We learned that dependence on God didn't have to mean that we may have thought it meant. Yes, if we wanted to be restored to sanity, we would need to tap a power greater than ourselves. However, we could choose our own concept of this higher power. We could even make one up. Dependence on a higher power would not limit us. We discovered it would free us. The power defined in recovery is the power we lack on our own. It is the love we were afraid to depend on for others. It is the sense of personal direction we never had, the guidance we couldn't humble ourselves to ask for or trust others to give. It is all these things, and it is our own, which today we are grateful to have a higher power to depend on. And just for today, I would depend on the love and inner strength I draw from the God of my own understanding. And that's what it says in today's in a daily meditation. And there's a part in there that what I just read that says that you can make it whatever you want. That higher power, you can make whatever you want. And when it says that, that takes God out of the picture, right? And when it takes God out of the picture and you can put whatever you want in that place, what that's telling me is that higher power, it's not a dependent on a higher power. What it's a dependent on is a mental change, is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not putting yourself out there and saying, well, I'm doing this because I believe in God, I have this faith. And if you do that, that's fine. You know what I mean? If that's what works for you, well, then that's what works for you. You know what I mean? It's good. And it's not saying that it's not, but from my point of view, when I hear that, it can be anything. It could be a cardboard box. You know what I mean? And if that's what it takes for you to mentally change your thought process, because in addiction of any kind, I don't care what it is, the change comes from you changing the way you think. That is how habitual patterns are broken. They aren't broken by, reading some book, or by, saying a couple of prayers, or by joining a church group, or by, all of those the things, all of those types of things are a plus. They facilitate you in attaining a mental thought process, right? And they're good. You know what I'm saying? So continue to do those things, but just to kind of cut through that fine line, and so that people understand, for somebody who doesn't know the process of recovery, or the process of a 12-step program, and because a lot of these programs, they put this whole thing of faith and spirituality and God, that you have to believe in these things. And they're not always like that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to be that. And what it is that when you involve yourself in different things like that, what's happening there is it's allowing you to change your mental thought process. You're starting to tear down walls otherwise that would be up. You know what I'm saying? And that is, to me, really a big thing for anyone who's dealing with any type of an addiction, because when you allow yourself to be that vulnerable in any sense, you're starting to claw away at what's the root of the problem, which usually stems from trauma of some sort. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, trauma can be, there's varying degrees for trauma. So they can be something as small as something somebody said to you, you know what I mean, and it caused you to feel a certain way. That's trauma. Or you going through this horrendous, thing or whatever, you know what I mean? So there's different levels of trauma, but at the end of the day, the reason that you do this habitual pattern is because of something that affected your mental thought process, and that is trauma. You're suffering for something that you're lacking, that you're craving, whether it's a craving for love, whether it's a craving for affection, whether it's a craving for acceptance, whether, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It all stems from some degree of trauma. And, for a lot of many people that I personally know, or including myself, had this habitual pattern of using drugs. And I used that to mask feelings that I didn't want to feel, mask things that I didn't want to remember, and that sort of thing. So it gets into this thing that is really, it's really how do I say this? It's a pattern that you have that is hard to break. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do it for so long, it becomes second nature in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And so, depending on a higher power to attain recovery, to attain a different lifestyle, a different mental thought process. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be abstinent from any addiction, but it doesn't mean that that you're fixed. You know what I'm saying? Because you still have that. You're still craving that thing. You're still lacking that inner thing that you're missing mentally. You know what I mean? It's and in your spiritual connections with whatever it is that you want to connect to. You know what I mean? And for the most part, most people have that connection and that spiritual connection, and they use God as that thing. And I personally use a spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me. That's just my personal preference. This is how I do my recovery, and my spirituality is a culmination of different practices. You know what I mean? But that's what works for me. You know what I'm saying? That's what works for me. It doesn't mean that, I don't believe in God, or I don't, believe in this or that or whatever. It's just that the way I practice my spirituality and my recovery and my sobriety is through a spiritual process that I grab from different cultures. You know what I'm saying? Do I believe in the Christian faith? Yes, I believe in the Christian faith because it's something that happened. You know what I'm saying? I believe in that. You know what I mean? Do I believe in the things that the Muslims believe in? Yeah, I believe in some of the things that believe in, because I don't believe that they think people need to be treated bad or whatever. That Allah has its own set of rules or own set of guidelines that they follow, and they're really good guidelines. You know what I'm saying? People who are Orthodox Jews, same thing, or people who are of whatever sect you're from and whatever you practice, they are all good in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But to say that one is better than the other, or you need to choose this one and this one's the way, I got a little bit of a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I personally, in my life, in my spirituality, in today's world, in the here and now, I practice Buddhism. And I practice Buddhism, and I like it, and I connect with it because it's of a spiritual nature. It's about discovering you. Just like in the Christianity sect, they say that the light is within you. Whatever the faith is, you have that power in you. You know what I'm saying? And this is the same thing that the Buddhist people believe, is that it comes from within you. It's a mental thought process. It's something that you got in your heart and soul, and it's a change of mind, a change of heart. And this thing is the connection between you and whatever it is that's out there. Nobody knows, you know what I'm saying? But it's some sort of connection that we have with the cosmos, with Mother Earth, and with everything around us in that energy field. You know what I'm saying? And this is just how I connect with it. You know what I'm saying? I practice the Buddhism, and I still believe in a lot of the things that the Christian folks believe in, and I still, I practice things that the Native Americans believe in. And I do different things with that. I chant different chants and mantras and from different sects. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in it. You know what I mean? And I believe that they work, and that they've helped me. And this is how I get my mind in tune with what I need to do. And this is how I was able to change my thought process by doing this. And I'll continue to do it until it doesn't work anymore, you know what I mean? But for now, that's what works for me, man, and that's what I do. So, I even practice some of the old Toltec and Aztec and Mayan things, you know what I'm saying? Because I believe in it, and I believe in all this spiritual karma that's out there. You know what I'm saying? That we're connected in one way, shape, form, or another. So we are all an interconnected being. You know what I'm saying? There's no difference between me and you and anybody else around the world. You know what I'm saying? We're all one and the same. We all breathe the same air. We all take the same sunshine in. We all sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? And we're connected, regardless of who and where you come from. We all originated from the same spot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I believe that is how we change a thought process, is by changing your environment, changing the things that you do, those patterns and stuff like that. And if it means that you have to depend on a higher power to do it, well, then that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I do. And I love to practice spirituality, man, because it broadens the mind. It gives you this different insight and perspective on many different things. So it's like you're putting on this new lens and taking note of things in a different way all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because we're changing beings, man. We change every single day. You know what I'm saying? You're not the same person you were yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So you adopt to your environment. You adopt, and if you know that your environment is affecting your sobriety or your recovery or whatever, then you change that. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much, you know, a way of changing your lifestyle in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to change a lot of it. I know myself personally, I had to change my whole lifestyle 360 degrees, and the thing that helped me change that, for me, my higher power that gave me a different mental thought process to look at things differently, was practicing spirituality, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I dove into the Bible, and I dove into other practices, and I still continue. You know what I'm saying? I still go to different, you know, churches on Sundays, and I still go to different meetings of different types of things, and because I believe everybody has something good to offer, man. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing this because you care. You wanna show support. You wanna love other people. You wanna help other people. Whether, I don't care where they're from. You know what I'm saying, or what they're practicing. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing something out of the goodness of your heart to help somebody, and that means that you're depending on a higher power, sometimes you have to depend on your environment. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to put in other things. Like I said, you can substitute that higher power with whatever. You know what I'm saying? And for me personally, I have to go to different therapy groups. I go to different 12-step programs, different meetings of different, you know, types of things, and I practice a lot of different spirituality stuff, man, which is cool to me. You know what I mean? I love that I get to go to this, you know, Native American drum circle, or I get to go practice and chant with the Hare Krishna folks, or I get to go to the Buddhist temple and practice there, and learn the teachings of the Buddha way, because everybody has Buddha nature in them. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has that thing within them that can find the light, per se. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what everybody's, all these different sects say, that, you know, the light comes from within. You know what I mean? Even Almighty Jesus Christ said that. You know what I'm saying? It comes from within, and that power is in you, and you'll know it. You know what I'm saying? And when you get in connection with that power, you illuminate, man. And that illumination starts spreading out to people that you come in contact with, and you'll see that it happens, and it's just through practice. It's through practice and through putting yourself in these different environments that are going to help you attain that. You know what I mean? And whether it's putting your higher power, setting your higher power up as God, as Christ, as Buddha, as Islam, as your neighbor, as, you know, the guy at the 12-step meeting program, whatever it is that you're going to use it, so long that you're doing it with good divine and karmic energy that is of good nature. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing ever bad comes out of when you do things in a positive sense, in a divine way like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's great. You know what I mean? It's great to practice those things, and that's what I wanted to share with you guys today, man, on this video. And hopefully that if you're on a journey and you're seeking that dependent on a higher power and you still haven't found it, know that if you continue to go to the rooms, to continue to go to the 12-step programs, continue to go to a local church, to a local Buddhist temple, to a local whatever it is that practices good spirituality, and connect yourself with a community like that. You know what I'm saying? And find one that fits for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, that's what you're gonna have to do sometimes. I know myself, man. I've been to a lot of churches and a lot of different groups, and I found a home at the Buddhist temple that I attend, man. And I'm grateful for them, and I'm grateful that I was able to step in that room. You know what I mean? And connect, because that's why I continue to go back, because I made this connection with the practice and with what I was listening to and what they're teaching, and the community that's there that backs you up, that loves you, and that it helps you. You know what I'm saying? And they won't turn you away, and they'll man, I tell you what, they'll give you the shirt off their back for you. And those are the types of communities that you want to involve yourself in, because I know for a long time, man, I was out in the streets and doing the whole drug scene thing and thinking that, I got these people that got my back and da 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 da, and come to find out, at the end of the day, everybody's looking out for them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about what's happening with you, unless you got it and you can give it. Then they got you. Other than that, then it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's just wasted energy out there, withering your life away on nothing but negative karmic energy, man. And that's what you don't want to happen in your life. You know what I mean? And I'm a firm believer in reaping what you sow, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Treating people like you want to be treated, and doing things in a good karmic way. I believe that you'll be getting repaid, if not in this lifetime, in the next. You know what I'm saying? And it's just paving a good way for you and the generations to come. And so anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to share with you guys today, man. I hope that somebody really got something out of this video today. And I guess, man, until the next time, when the smoke clears, if you would please, at this moment, give me a thumbs up, shoot me a comment, and share my channel, man. Hit that subscribe button, share my channel. Just know that when you do hit the subscribe button, it don't cost you a thing, man. It don't cost you a thing at all. But you know what? You'll be helping out another veteran, another homeless person, another person dealing with PTSDs, childhood traumatic experiences, trauma, drug addiction, alcoholism, depression, suicidal thoughts, all those types of things, my friends, because I have dealt with all of those things at one point in time in my life. And guess what, man? I know a way out. And my way out could be your way out. So I guess until the next time on When the Smoke Clears, I am the Recovery Plug.